Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Frank Salive, and on behalf of our team at Fort Erie Racetrack, we want to welcome you formally to the post-position draw for the 2021 Prince of Wales Stakes, the middle jewel of the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Canadian Triple Crown. Of course, it's coming up next Tuesday, September 14th, post time 1 p.m. It's going to be an especially big day here at Fort Erie Racetrack. We're going to tell you why, about the addition of new stakes races, etc., all upcoming on this live post-position draw. We want to welcome all of you watching wherever you are across the world on FortErieRacing.com. The feeling is building. The excitement is building tangibly. Of course, many of you saw that thrilling finish in the Queen's Plate this year. Many of those starters are coming here for next Tuesday's Prince of Wales Stakes. And just to get in the spirit of this year's race, we want to take a quick look back and now roll for you the closing few yards and quarter mile of the 2020 Prince of Wales Stakes from back here at Fort Erie Racetrack. The top of the stretch leader in the 85th running of the Prince of Wales Stakes is Clayton. Mighty Heart now is angled off the fence and comes to call on the outside. Clayton is asked to dig deep. Here on the outside comes Mighty Heart. Mighty Heart very calmly on the outside with no urging from Daisuke Fukumoto. He glides right on by. He was never worried. Mighty Heart, mightiest again. He's 2/3 of the way to the Canadian Triple Crown. Mighty Heart easily. So you saw the thrilling win by Mighty Heart in last year's Prince of Wales Stakes, and we have our guest draw masters to introduce to you at this time for the 2021 running of the Prince of Wales Stakes. Karen Ross and Paul Nielsen, welcome to the draw podium. Our racing secretary Jackie Eder is standing by. We're going to be putting her to work in just a few moments. But Paul Nielsen has a horse commemorated here at Fort Erie Racetrack. We're going to be naming a stakes race next Tuesday after Lasanki MSI. So give us your memories of that special horse that you trained, as they say, back in the day.
It is back in the day. Well, just a wonderful horse all the way around. Blessed to win the Prince of Wales here as a 3-year-old. If you look at his record, he went on to run as a 9-year-old, still at the top of his form. Made over $1,400,000. Multiple graded stake winner, won some stakes here, Fort Erie, just got beat in Chicago. Just a wonderful, wonderful horse. I was blessed to have him.
Mm-hmm.
Really
the statue here at Fort Erie Racetrack of Lasanki MSI has Stevie Bain in the saddle, yes. But for some of his later races, you say there were other riders.
Yes, Brian Berczynski rode him here in the Prince of Wales and did a marvelous job on him. Gave him an outside trip, just really, really steady ride the whole way and finished on end and got it done for the home team.
And what's your reaction to us naming a stakes race on Prince of Wales Stakes Day after Lasanki MSI?
I'm truly honored. It's been a long road. I've changed roles now as a steward, but it's been a blessing. Just a wonderful time with the horse. With this track, they've always made me welcome, and a beautiful surface to train over. Just a great time all the way around.
Well, we want to ask Karen Ross a question because without the caretakers and the caregivers, we wouldn't have much of an industry here in Ontario for all of the breeds of the various horse races. Your best memory of Lasanki MSI, Karen?
It's pretty easy. After we won the race, there was a standing ovation from the whole crowd. And the following days, I went into the daycare to pick up my son, and there was a standing ovation there. And then I went into the bank, and people started clapping in the bank.
Wow.
So it really was, one for Fort Erie, and it's a wonderful place to be. This track is a jewel, and we were so lucky to be here.
Awesome, and thank you for helping us out with the draw today.
Oh, I'm so honored.
Well, we want to thank Karen Ross and Paul Nielsen, our guest draw masters, for the 2021 Prince of Wales Stakes, and let's move on with the draw at this time, ladies and gentlemen. Our racing secretary, Jackie Eder, is here to conduct the duties, and Fenton Platts from the Ontario I was going to say Ontario Racing Commission, which gives away my age. It's now called the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario. So let's proceed with the draw. Process will be a name drawn out, and then
Names are in here.
the
We're going to
post
put,
position pill will come out of the shaker.
there's 8.
And if you have your pens and pencils at the ready, this is the part that you'll want to keep track of.
Okay.
So
Yep,
the first name out,
Is Hadassah.
Hadassah, 8th place finisher from the Queen's Plate,
He
trained
is,
by Kevin Attard,
he is number 4.
gets post position 4 for Hadassah in the Prince of Wales Stakes.
Next one out is HC Holiday.
HC Holiday, 3rd place finisher in the Queen's Plate,
He is number 5.
post 5 for HC Holiday, one of 3 being sent into battle by trainer Kevin Attard.
The next one is Avoman.
Avo or Avo Man
He is number 1.
won the Queen's Plate trial, 6th in the Queen's Plate, has drawn post 1 for the Prince of Wales Stakes.
The next one is Kirlin's Catch.
Kirlin's Catch. We have a wonderful history of fillies in the Prince of Wales Stakes. Many of you in the crowd will remember Wonder Godot from a couple of years ago. Kirlin's Catch
Is number 3.
gets post 3 for the Prince of Wales Stakes as the lone filly in this year's Classic.
Title Forces.
Title Forces, sent in by Gail Cox for Samson Farm.
Is number 2.
Post 2 for Title Forces.
Ready at Dawn.
Ready at Dawn, big time winner here in Fort Erie just about a month ago, trained by Daryl Ezra locally for Double Blooded Stables.
Is number 6.
Gets post 6 for the Prince of Wales Stakes, Ready at Dawn.
Keep Grinding.
And that leaves Keep Grinding, one of the last couple out. 5th in the Queen's Plate for Tino Attard and owner Josh Attard.
And he's number 8.
Gets post 8, Keep Grinding.
The last one is Harlan Estate.
Harlan Estate,
Is number 7.
7th place finisher in the Queen's Plate, one of the 3 sent in by Kevin Attard, and he gets post 7. So there's your field, ladies and gentlemen, for the 86th renewal of the Prince of Wales Stakes, the middle jewel of the Canadian Triple Crown. We are going to take a short pause at this time. It's going to be a very, very brief pause
I have to go through these.
for Bill McGurr
I have to run through them.
to set the morning line, and for a last run through by our race secretary, Jackie Eater.
Now? Okay, so we have Avoman with Antonio Gallardo.
Antonio Gallardo, the declared jockey of Avoman.
Title Forces with Emma Jane Wilson.
Emma Jane Wilson will stay with Title Forces.
Kirlin's Catch with Patrick Husbands.
Patrick Husbands in to ride the filly Kirlin's Catch.
Hadassah with Gary Boulanger.
Gary Boulanger will be here to ride Hadassah from post 4.
HC Holiday with Luis Contreras.
Luis Contreras, lots of recent years' success in the Prince of Wales Stakes. Sorry, Jackie, who's Luis riding?
HC Holiday.
HC Holiday, the probable post-time favorite, but I'll let Bill McGurr decide that.
Ready at Dawn, Mark Lee Buchanan.
Ready at Dawn gets Mark Buchanan, keeping the local mount and local connections.
Harlan Estate with Kazushi Kimura.
Harlan Estate and Kazushi Kimura.
Keep Grinding with Rafael Hernandez.
Rafael Hernandez will keep the mount on Keep Grinding from post 8. So now, ladies and gentlemen, a brief pause while we do some consultations with our Equibase.com morning line oddsman, Bill McGurr, and we'll be back very shortly with the closing notes about the big day about to unfold on Tuesday. More on the beautiful trophy table over here that we're going to be explaining in our last segment. And thank you for joining us. We'll be right back in moments with the morning line odds for the complete field for Tuesday's Prince of Wales Stakes. Welcome back, everyone, to the post-position draw concluding segment for the 86th running of the Prince of Wales Stakes next Tuesday, September 14th, here at Fort Erie Racetrack, post time 1 p.m. We promise to come right back with the morning line odds setting, and our morning line odds man, Bill McGurr from Equibase.com, has established post 5 HC Holiday as the 5-2 morning line favorite for this year's Prince of Wales Stakes. So horse by horse from the top, we'll go down the morning line odds setting from Bill McGurr. Avo Man, post 1. Antonio Gallardo in to ride, 7-2 morning line for Avo Man. Post position 2 is Tidal Forces. Emma Jane Wilson will be the jockey. And the morning line is 15-1, 15-1 on Tidal Forces. Kirlin's Catch, the lone filly in this year's race. Patrick Husbands will be here to ride from post 3, and Kirlin's Catch, Patrick Husbands, third choice at 9-2. Post position 4, Hadassah, one of the 3 sent in by Kevin Attard, with Gary Boulanger here to ride, 12-1 for Hadassah. Hadassah, 12-1 with Gary Boulanger. Then post 5, the morning line favorite, HC Holiday. Luis Contreras, great recent success in the Prince of Wales Stakes with horses like Amiz Gizmo and Cool Catamine, just a couple of those ridden successfully to victories here at the Fort Erie Racetrack by Luis Contreras. He's the pilot of HC Holiday, morning line favorite at 5-2 from post 5. Ready at Dawn, being locally trained by Daryl Ezra, with Mark Lee Buchanan, one of the regular riders in our colony here at Fort Erie. Starts post 6, 30-1 is Bill McGurr's morning line estimate for Ready at Dawn. Ready at Dawn, post 6, Mark Buchanan to ride, 30-1. Post 7, Harlan Estate. The declared jockey is Kazushi Kimura. The morning line from Bill McGurr is 6-1 on post 7 and Harlan Estate. Completing the field, second choice in the morning line, post 8, Keep Grinding. Rafael Hernandez will be here to ride, and Keep Grinding, close, second choice at 3-1. That's post 8, Keep Grinding, 3-1 morning line odds from Equibase.com's Bill McGurr for the 86th running of the Prince of Wales Stakes. Now, we mentioned at the top of the draw today that it would be an extremely big day here next Tuesday, September 14th at Fort Erie Racetrack. That's because on track you're going to see the quality of a total of 5 Cup and Stakes races, and these will include the Molson Cup, the first ever Lasanki SI Cup. Paul Nielsen and Karen Ross, good enough to be our guest draw masters today, telling us about the wonderful history of Lasanki MSI. How about the Rondo Bay Stakes next Tuesday, the Lake Erie Stakes, and of course the 86th running of the Prince of Wales Stakes. Those of you unable to be with us on track or able to view FortErieRacing.com, you can catch it live nationally on TSN between 5 and 6 Eastern Time next Tuesday, September 14th, the Prince of Wales Stakes, middle jewel of the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Canadian Triple Crown. That's live on TSN between 5 and 6 p.m. next Tuesday. Those of you wishing to join us at the track, a couple of final notes. Advance registration for you will close on the website Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. FortErieRacing.com for your advance registrations, and that will close, the advance registrations closing 8:30 on Monday evening. There is also going to be a limited amount of on-site admission registration, a very limited amount of on-site registration at the track here next Tuesday. Lastly, before we go, we've had a wonderful season here at Fort Erie Racetrack, and certainly Prince of Wales Stakes Day is a big day, but it's not the end of the season by far, because we're with you Mondays and Tuesdays right through to the end of October, Post times at 1 p.m. and everything about us and our racing product is always available to you at forterieracing.com. We hope to see you either online, on television, or at the track next Tuesday for this next chapter, we believe, from Canadian horse racing history to be written right here at the beautiful and historic Fort Erie Racetrack with the running of the Prince of Wales Stakes. Thank you for tuning in. See you next Tuesday.